cuties, welcome back to another series of interiors. Last time, some of you complained about the audio. I'm recording on my phone too over here, so hopefully it's better. Some of you are nice about it, some of you not so much, but hopefully it sounds better when I have my phone over here recording it. But let's get into it. So the first video that was sent that I have here for this video is from Grace in LA, and she kind of showed me all over her house, and not each area needs like a ton of work, but just like little things kind of throughout her space. So let's start with her her dining space. So you look in here, and she has a mid-century dining space. And there's her cute little doggy. And I think that her partner's dad gave them this set, and it's a beautiful set in really good condition, but she wanted to switch out the upholstery on it because it's kind of dated upholstery. It's not really doing a whole lot for the table. And I'll show some fabric ideas that I have. I'd love to see like a stripe or a plaid. I'll show you what I'm thinking for that. Here's Grace's little Pinterest board, but here's one dining space. It's like a video, but where you see the striped upholstery, and I think that would be really nice for those chairs. And I'll show a few more in a second, but just kind of my idea for those. But I think something fresher for those would be nice. So in that space, I feel like it's like really simple, beautiful little space. She has this little open area across from the dining table that she's trying to figure out if she wants to put a mirror there or a picture. I think a painting would be really beautiful there. So kind of finding like larger scale painting that, you like. Also, here's like a Tiffany style white on the ceiling, but it's kind of dated for like, I think what she's wanting. So she has one that's a similar style, but like a fresher kind of more like modern take on it, even though it's not a modern lamp, I don't think. So just keep that space in mind, and I think that we can make that really easy and cute. Okay, so into her living room space is what her and her partner kind of agree on the most. And she said it's kind of like a work in progress, but it's the space that they can kind of agree on. So trying to find the balance between, two people living together is always interesting. I think that Grace is a little bit more, wants to bring in a little bit more color and is a little bit more experimental. We go into the bathroom, and it's actually a really cute bathroom. I feel like it would be easy to make it, cuter and like fresher. And I love these shower curtains that she put up. It makes it look like an extension of the home. Like those are curtains that you would find in, a living room or whatever. She has this little cabinet here that I feel like would look really cute with a wooden little vintage cabinet. And then I think switching out this little sconce and this mirror would be a really good idea. And then she has these two little white rugs, but she said she wanted to put in a little vintage rug, which I think would be really cute. And then this little cabinet, again, I have some ideas, but I think like a vintage wooden cabinet would be really cute, and just again makes it feel like an extension of the home and not just a bathroom with like bathroom stuff in it. And I also think that putting some artwork up, she shows these little hooks behind her door as well, which I feel like they're fine being hung there, but bringing in some more personal touches. Like I see there's a picture down on the ground there, hanging that, or hanging it right there, honestly. I saved one where someone hung a picture like weirdly low, and I liked it. I think this bathroom will be really easy to make it just like cute. It just needs a little bit more like, homey touches to it. Okay, and then we move into the office space, which actually has such beautiful light and so many windows. And it's an office space and a guest bedroom. And this is the space that like I feel like could transform really easily. She was trying to figure out where she should put the desk. And I think, and then like where the daybed should go. It's a really beautiful daybed. I love that it's low and that you can push it under the window and it wouldn't look weird because it's so low. It's not, there's no headboard to cover the window or anything like that. What I would do is move the little desk opposite of the bed, which I think that Grace said she thought might have looked weird, but I think it would look good over on that wall across. And then putting like a little stool next to it with like a little sculpture and some art, just making the space feel layered and more put together so it makes sense. Because I think in front of the window, it's just like kind of a strange height and size. And then it looks like you have this cute little stool. I mean, play around with that. You could put that next to the desk with like a little sculpture or plant or something. And you have a lot of books in there as well. And I have some ideas for that too. But let me take you to your Pinterest board again. I always like don't know how to like set these videos up because I have so many ideas. So I feel like I'm just like spitting them out everywhere, but splurting them out, spitting them out. Okay, so look, here's the Pinterest board. And again, like I said, for the dining space, I love I love this striped fabric. I think that would be really nice, fresh take on those chairs. I saved some plaids in here as well. And I'll show some other fabrics that I saved for those. Again, like I was saying in the bathroom, someone hung this little piece of artwork like below the sink near the toilet. You have one there that like I think you just had first, like, you know, you weren't even thinking about it, but I kind of like how like weird and like random that is. If you're not into that, I get it, it's a little strange. So for the guest bedroom office space, I think you can really take advantage of layering. So where that daybed is, I would move it away from the wall probably, I don't know, 2 feet, and leave a gap there where that singular window is. And I would put a really long shelf under the window from that corner to the other closet, to that other corner where it meets the closet, sorry. And I would stack all your books on there in the way that looks like, you know, considered, and like, but also you can like stack them, you know, whatever ways you want. Okay, so on that shelf with all the books, I would put a scissor sconce, or you could do a lamp as well. And I'll show you a few examples of that. But let me look on the Pinterest board, kind of just, I saved a few like daybed kind of vibes. This one with the blue room is really beautiful. And then, let's see. I liked this, just kind of show you like if there was a shelf next to the bed and then like a lamp and then all your books across it, I think that would be really nice. Again, just like utilizing that like layered kind of feel to it, so it really feels, you know, lived in and considered and beautiful. I like that look. Let's see if I have, like, I loved this, which is more like a trundle bed, but I loved the little sconce above it. I just love a daybed, to be honest. Here's another, like a plug-in sconce that can go with the shelf over it, so it's like someone could have it as like a night light, so they could read at night and then turn it off if you have guests staying in there. And then here's like kind of an example of just like how you can just like kind of layer your things in there. I think artwork would be really nice, you know, to bring in as well, which also takes a while to find, you know, the pieces that you love. This one was the first one that popped into my head when I saw your space. I just have always saved this image, and I love the like daybed next to the desk and the chair. It just looks very like calm and sweet. But again, I would put your desk over on that opposite wall. And I think I saved something for the desk that I was like, I just liked the layering of the desk. Let's see. Yeah, like this, which I don't necessarily like the style of this image. I just liked how there was like a stool next to the desk with like a little sconce, or you could put a table lamp on yours. And then like a little vase with some flowers and some artwork. Like, again, I don't necessarily like the style of the photo. I just like the placement of the furniture to kind of give you a general idea. But yeah, I think layering would be really nice. Let me look on Etsy to see if I have, oh wait, I have this scissor lamp I wanted to show you. Okay, so here's this red scissor lamp, which like you wouldn't necessarily use this color because you have that mauve-y colored wall, which I don't actually necessarily mind. So you could do like a creamier shade, or you know, something, maybe even a green. If you had like a plug-in version of this kind of lamp over like the shelf that would be like next to the bed, and it kind of reaches over the daybed. Or I wouldn't even mind seeing this near the desk, and then you put a table lamp on that shelf with all the books. And again, you will maybe have to consider like the brackets for the shelf, but I think you could play around with that. Or if you found like low shelving unit that could go there, I think that would be really nice. And then I think also like a big vintage rug would be nice in there, or you know, one that just like feels, I don't know, there's like the carpeting in there, and maybe you're attached to the carpeting. I'm assuming you're not, but if you are, keep it. But I think that putting a nice vintage rug in there that brings in like different colors, and I think you can stay muted. Maybe you bring in like more mauve-y colors and greens and maybe light blues, but overall it's kind of a neutral rug. Let's see what else. It's a really cute space, and I feel like it could be so nice so easily. I also there's a ceiling the ceiling fan in there. You could also put a cute little pendant there as well. And I'll like link some Etsy lights for you for ideas for that. Just to like make it feel more polished. But again, like here's one actually that I really liked. I don't know if it would really fit in there or not, but I think it would be really pretty. But I'll link some ideas. And but if you like the ceiling fan, keep the ceiling fan. Like I always say, they're not the prettiest, but they are really practical, so I understand wanting to keep it. I also put this little like stool, like upholstered stool, because I feel like that would be a nice touch if you had it on the other side of the bed, opposite of the shelf, and you had some books on it, and like, you know, kind of just, I don't know, I just feel like that space needs like low layery things. Also for the bedding, I really like, you know, the white bedding as well, but I think you could bring in some like vintage striped blankets in there. I think I had one saved that I thought was really cute. Oh, this one. I mean, maybe not necessarily the color for it, but just like a little vintage striped quilt would be nice on it, even if you folded it at the end. But overall, I like the all white bedding as well. But it's fun to bring in like plaids and stripes, and sometimes I even like smaller scale, like floral fabrics. And if you have any questions, like if you find one and you're like, is this crazy or is this, message me and I'll let you know if I like it or if I think it would work in the space. But if you love it, do it. Okay, and then we move on to your bedroom, which I think is a really cute space. I know you said, so here's the new nightstands that you got, these wooden ones. I love them. I think they're so pretty, and I love them with these vintage lamps that you have. I know you said you didn't love them with the space, but I think they look really good. I like that everything in there is like very neutral, and then they're kind of like a pop of warmth. And I love the lamp with the pink and the yellow on it. I think they're so cute. And my idea for this room, I think you could put, because it's a little awkward to have like curtains behind the bed because they kind of like pull at them and they feel like they're being suffocated. I would put Roman shades there, or again, cafe curtains like I showed in the last video behind the bed. But it really depends on your level of privacy. You can also bring cafe curtains up to cover about like, I don't know, 3/4 of the window. That's always an option. Or do Roman shades. I think Roman shades always look so polished and beautiful. And I think you could do Roman shades on both of the windows. Just like a creamy linen, I think would be really nice. But it's a really nice space, and I'll show you kind of some Pinterest things I saved. I don't know why when I see this space, it's like you have the warmth of the nightstand, and then I was just like very inspired by our lights, and it made me want to bring in like some more like feminine touches to the bedroom, and not in a way that's like overly feminine, but I saw this bedroom and I just really liked this like more feminine style like glass light pendant, and then the toile, I think that's how you say it, bed skirt. I think that's really pretty, and it feels like it's just like a touch of like vintage kind of historic feel, kind of like your lamp. I loved that. And then I saved, I don't know, let's see, like I don't know why this one kind of reminded me of the like colors that I like in that space, like the pinks and the yellows and the blues. I think you could bring those in more into your bedroom, but in like a very subtle kind of way. I think you could put artwork, kind of like, I loved this little nightstand setup with the sweet little pink flowers and just like 2 little pieces of artwork above it. So you could do that above your nightstand. Or you could put little mirrors above your nightstand too. I think that would be fun. I also like kind of like random little art. It doesn't have to be like super symmetrical, just kind of like funky and like unexpected in a way. Let's see if I have some other ones saved for the bedroom. Here's another one where it's kind of reminded me of your bedroom a little bit. Like this off-center piece of artwork and some greenery, I think is really nice. Let's see, I think that's it for the bedroom. I might have some Etsy. So I had some ideas for your bedroom where I thought you could bring in, which I'm not sure if this would work on your bed, like it might be too low, but I think a bed skirt could be really pretty. Like that could be a way to bring in some like texture and like maybe a little bit of color. This one's brown, but I think you could do like a more neutral color, like a creamy or something. Kind of play around with that. I think you should really play off those lamps. I love them. I even clicked some of these like toile pillows because I think those would be really nice on your bed. In addition to your like mustardy yellow pillow in there, I think they would look really nice together. And then I know you also said for your lamps that you didn't like the lampshades, so I saved a few lampshades for you, and I'll tag them below or link them below. I think just like putting a, like, I don't know, a little bit more pleated or something, vintage lampshade. It doesn't even have to be pleated, but just like a vintage lampshade to really like, you know, embrace the style of the lamps. Here's one that's more like a cone style, which is like more clean lines, but feels like I think a lot of lamps just come with like basic lampshades and they're like too stark white. So something with like a little bit more creaminess, a little bit more texture would be really beautiful. And I think if you wanted to, you could add a rug in the bedroom on top of the carpeting. Like you could bring in a color, like maybe it could be like a solid color where it's like more of the mustardy yellow, or like more neutrals, something with like pinks and blues, and I don't know. You could play around with that. But again, you can send me anything that you have questions about. But I feel like you have such a cute space and it's going to be so easy to just like add these little touches. Also, back to your bathroom just for a second. I did save this image where I really liked the skirt around the sink. I don't think it would be that easy to do, but I did really like it. And then also for your sconce in there, I think because it's like the silvery frame of the mirror and then the like silvery sconce, I feel like those two things being switched out would change the space so much. I think you could change that sconce out to just like a simple little ball light. Like here's one. This one's like $32. I think that would like change the space as well. It would be just a small little thing that would make a big difference. And then honestly, if you wanted to go like super cheap, you could just paint the frame of the mirror, like just to like blend in with the wall. Kind of like how these more like built-in mirrors kind of look. Let me show you. Like this one. I also like this sconce. These are really easy to find as well. But these like built-in ones that are creamier, I think just like taking away that silver, it feels like very glamoury. And then just be on the hunt for like a sweet little vintage rug to go in there. And then I did save some little like bathroom cabinets that I thought could be cute. I'll link some below. It takes a minute to like look through all my Etsy saves. I like have horrible organization on this. I don't know how you do it all together. But I'll link some below. But I think, yeah, changing out the sconce, adding some artwork on the walls, changing the little cabinet next to the mirror into like something wooden to add some warmth in there, and just some like age to the space. And then the little ball light, painting the frame of the mirror maybe. Did I already say that? I don't know. But I think that space would be really easy to upgrade, and I'll link some things below. But overall, I think that space, like your space, is going to be so easy and cute to improve upon. I can't talk today. But and one more thing. Grace, I'm obsessed with your house, so I keep talking about it. But I did just look on the Pinterest board because I did save some artwork that I feel like could be really cute in that space between the sconces. And I think you could save the sconces that are there, or find more like mid-century ones that could like go with the table a little bit more. And I put some on the Pinterest board as well. They're a little bit more expensive, but you can find that style cheaper as well. But I think that's it. Actually, it's not. I saved a few fabric ideas that I really liked for your dining chairs, and it's just a lot of stripes and some plaid. So like you have these like mustardy, some greens, some browns, some green plaids. I love Sally Breer. I don't know how you say her name, but she has this like striped couch that I love, and I think it would just really look good with your dining chairs. These yellowy ones. I would just suggest going to a fabric store and just getting little samples, swatches, stripes, plaids, maybe even like a mustardy, velvety, some sort of like solid velvety color could be nice with them as well. And just put them on the chairs and stand back and see which ones like speak to you. Okay, now we're gonna go into Bella's house. She also lives in LA, and she just moved to a cute little like Spanish style home. And let's look and see. It has all the classic LA little Spanish style. I love the kitchen. It's so cute with the diamond floors. So here is the dining space. It has little built-in shelves and a pendant light or chandelier that is not the move, but it looks like in this room she has a lantern that it hasn't been hung. It's just like sitting on the mantle, and that would be amazing in the dining space, which in her previous dining space, as you see here, she has a black dining table, black and metal dining chairs, and then the lantern above it. So I think that would be really cute in that space. I would make sure that the built-ins are just like carefully kind of considered. I think sometimes people like just don't know what to put in there, and it kind of just makes the space fall flat a little bit. So I think making sure that you kind of like consider what's in there, putting books in there, little objects that you like, but making sure it kind of has a cohesive look to it. I think there's not like a ton that you need to do in this space because you have those cute little windows, the cute little built-ins. Once you put the table in there and the lantern, I think would be really cute. You could potentially play around with painting the walls in there, but I do like the fresh white walls, especially with like the architectural like details in the space. But it could be something fun to do. But I know that the dining table is black, so yeah, you'd have to play around with kind of what would look good with that. I think it could be fun to do something moody, but just an idea, but I do like the white walls. Okay, and so then we move into her living space, and in that hallway you can see a built-in, which I love. And the thing that really is amazing about this space is those giant, beautiful arched windows. I love them so much. And so, I mean, all she needs help with is the living space and the dining space. And I mean, the architecture kind of speaks for itself, so that's really nice. You don't have to do a lot in that regard. I know she has some furniture from her old place that she'll be bringing into this place, and I'll give some suggestions on what I would keep and wouldn't keep or whatever. So yeah, I feel like that is kind of all she really needs help with on this space. So some ideas that I have. Let's go to your Pinterest board. Okay, so I know you struggled with like where you should put the couch. You said like a sectional would just take up too much space. I'm not really sure what couch you have now, but I did see like a grayish couch, so I'm not sure if that was yours or not. So what I would do is I would put the couch in front of the giant window, which maybe that's controversial because you don't want to block the window, but I would pull it away from the window a little bit. And the windows are so big, it's okay to cover a little bit of it. And then across from the couch, I would put, a little coffee table and then 2 modular style kind of lower chairs there. And then you said you had this like burl wood credenza, and you would have that on the wall opposite of the fireplace. And I think that would be the best layout for that space so that you can like flow through it, but it's still comfy, usable, lots of seating, but it doesn't cut off the space like maybe a sectional would, or if you had the couch across from the fireplace, especially since you need space for that bigger credenza. And that's kind of what's reflected in the Pinterest board, is kind of like I did a lot of like little like short modular style chairs, kind of like this one. I think that's so nice with the corduroy and the wood frame. And then I did a lot of like daybed style things because I think sightline wise, excuse me, it's really important for that space since you want to see the window, you want to see everything. So you could play around with the daybed on one end. Maybe you don't even want a couch at all. Maybe you do the daybed and 2 chairs. I saved this little pink one. I thought it was cute. Maybe pink isn't your thing, but I'm really into pink right now. Like this style of chair, these like these brown ones. And I think that this would be a good way to bring in color with those chairs. Something like warmer, like a brown or green or pink. I have some more things. Let's see. So kind of the Pinterest board is just showing like how I would lay out the space, not necessarily maybe your style. So here's another like daybed with like a little drink table next to it. Kind of again, like I said in the last one, like just a lot of layering to make the space feel really purposeful. And you can kind of push the couch in towards near the fireplace, kind of like this one, so it really fits the space. You could play around with putting a sconce there if there's a plug. I liked this little layout, kind of like you have the couch and another like seating area, and then you have your coffee table in the middle and your fireplace right there. That's kind of what I'm thinking for the space planning on that. And then I liked the idea of just like little iron or small little you could do like a little magazine rack, little side tables, kind of just like layering things. And I think for the little side tables, you could do them a little bit more like this iron, more airy kind of shapes, not so solid. And I think also bringing in that like iron, that like wrought iron is really nice with the Spanish style home. I think that like is true to the style, and you can still like honor your like mid-century style as well. I think those 2 things can go really nicely together. But yeah, so then like on your credenza, you could have like a lamp and some of your favorite objects, maybe artwork above it, maybe little pieces of artwork, or a mirror. I'm not sure what you are planning on putting above your fireplace. I'm not sure if it's a TV. If it's a TV, no judgment. But it could be fun to put like a little artwork on it. Like I said before, I like it kind of like random and weird. Or a cute little like vintage mirror. I also think because the space is so big and the ceilings are tall, you could bring in like a really big like tree plant or something. Maybe that's not your vibe, maybe you don't want that, but I think that could be really nice in there. Again, just like lots of layering. There's like this kind of with like the lower furniture as well. I think that would be really nice in that space, as like you kind of just want the architecture to speak for itself and the furniture to just like kind of bring the space like to life a little bit with like the color and the shapes and stuff. Let's see. And also it could be cute to have like a little ottoman or bench or little like stool in front of the fireplace, or like some old like decorative vases that are like more natural colors, and I'll show you some on Etsy. But you can kind of just look through like artwork wise, layout wise. It's like a lot of like this picture kind of shows it, lots of like layery different styles, but are still like airy, like not too solid, kind of let the space breathe a little. I think that would be really nice. Also, it doesn't look like you have overhead lighting in there, so I think bringing in a lot of lamp lighting would be nice. So having spaces to put those lamps as well. Like maybe you put a little table in between the chairs across from the couch and then a little lamp, or I don't know, play around with that. Yeah, just kind of put in some like layery things, because there's lots of like blank walls in there that I think would be fun to maybe just have a stack of books and a little vintage like wooden chair on one of the walls that like kind of frame the dining entrance. I think that would be cute. Let's go to Etsy and kind of see. I think that a way to bring in color is like maybe some vintage artwork, like some cute artwork, or some like vintage blankets. So I have this like green and white striped one, or this like olivey one, or like this one. Could be fun. And then I like, because I wanted to stay true to your like mid-century style, I think that would be, I think it goes well with the Spanish style. You can just like more clean, airy lines. Like I loved this lamp, very simple and cute, and kind of fit into a lot of different styles. This one would be really nice on the credenza. I think that would be really beautiful. I love how sculptural it is, and it's only $100. Something like this, similar style, sculptural but clean lines. I think also you could have something like this, little sconce plugged in on either side of the fireplace with like, a little side table, or just have it there like lower, kind of framing in where the couch is or one of the chairs. I think that would be really beautiful. I'm like bringing some like sculptures like this, like I really like this style of like cherub, sculptures, but I feel like there's something that could kind of bring the Spanish in the mid-century in, like with some like more sculptural stuff. Maybe that doesn't make sense, but to me it did. Like this floor lamp is like kind of clean lines, modern, can kind of fit the both styles, the Spanish and the mid-century. Here was one of the pots I was thinking of. Like if you put it like down on the floor on the mantle, the hearth, what is it called? Yeah, the like low part of the fireplace. I'm blanking. I think it's hearth. But this one I thought was really pretty. Something like that. Bring in some color and some texture and shape, something sculptural. I found these little like hooks that could be cute if you, right when you walk in, just like kind of speaks to the Spanish style, more iron, and you could hang little, coats or something on it. Again, just like personal little homey touches, I think is really what you need. And also just like now that you know like kind of spatially how to arrange the furniture, I think then it's like on you to like kind of figure out what kind of furniture you want. I give you my suggestions, but like kind of like sourcing those, going to vintage shops. LA has incredible vintage, so kind of looking at that. Here's another lamp. I saved a lot of lamps. Okay, this was one of the lamps that I don't think would maybe be your style, but I just loved it. Oh, it's not loading. Oh, here. I just thought they were kind of fun. If you put them on the credenza or something, I don't know, put in like a little funky style with it. And then here's like one of the little side tables I was talking about, more sculptural, wrought iron, little drink tables that you can kind of like layer wherever. Another one like that. And then, so I saw you had a coffee table that's glass with a stone bottom, the like 80s style. I don't like glass in this space. Like I don't like glass on furniture. Just, that's my personal opinion. It's not right or wrong. But I do think it would be a good opportunity to bring in some like wood on the dining, or for the coffee table, to bring in some warmth. And I did see that you have a big white rug. I think that would look really beautiful in there as well, especially with like a worn wooden coffee table. You could do something that's more like modular, something that's more like rectangular, maybe more narrow, or you could do something upholstered, maybe like an ottoman. I also see this like rounded one that could be nice, and you can get it at like 10 inches tall, so it's like lower, or 12 inches. It kind of like varies on this one. I think that would be nice for the warmth. There's something about the glass and the stone coffee tables that just feel cold to me personally. And I feel like that space, because it's that Spanish style, it needs more wood and warmth, and you know. But that's just what I think, and if you want to keep your coffee table, that's amazing. But yeah, and I think you have an opportunity to bring in some like colors with like pillows and blankets and artwork, but kind of keeping everything else like neutral and sculptural. But I feel like because your space has such good architecture, which I keep saying, but I feel like it's not going to take a whole lot of work to make it look really beautiful and cohesive. It's just really about being carefully considering the things that you put in there. And I know sometimes you just like kind of put something somewhere and then you like forget about it. It just becomes part of the space, and you need like a fresh set of eyes to be like, hey, maybe think about this, whatever. But I feel like, yeah, just looking, I didn't have any specific chairs that I found like listed that you could buy, but I think, you know, the like lower profile modular style chairs could be nice. So maybe just hitting up some vintage furniture stores, looking at day beds, kind of just look at the Pinterest board and see like the layering, the styling, the furniture placement, all those things is kind of like what the board is there for. So I feel like you I feel like it's gonna be really cute. So, but if you have any questions, of course, let me know, and I will link all the things that I showed up on here. But I think it will be super cute. Also, this one couch I just loved. I don't know how much it is, but something like that under the window would be amazing, because one of the sides doesn't have a back to it. So you could play around with like modular ones so that they're like not so solid of a couch, so it's not impacting the sight lines on the windows too much. But yeah, I feel like that's a good start. And I'm excited to see if you take any of the suggestions, both of you. And yeah, this is really fun. And I kind of go too in depth. So these videos take quite a long time, making the Pinterest boards and writing down all the like notes and stuff that I have. But it's something that I really love doing, so it's just how I'm gonna do it. And I should be back with a new set of rooms soon. But sometimes it takes me a minute just because it's such a whole thing. But thank you for watching, and hopefully the audio is better this time. You guys let me know. I'll adjust it a little bit more when I'm editing. It's a process, so I thank you for the feedback, even if you're aggressive about it. Just kidding. But thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.